From Svitek comes a weekly digital series where he shares his insights, concepts, and findings learned during his 15-year journey of working in the entertainment industry. Each lesson offers you a roadmap to overcome the challenges that all artists face on the path to success. Welcome to a Svitek podcast.
Hello, I'm Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to talk about the idea that there is no ideal day for creativity. And certainly it's a notion that Steven Pressfield shares and expands upon in a number of different perspectives and ways through books such as Do the Work, or the most famous one, The War of Art. And what do I mean by this? So let me talk about it from my perspective, right? In the past couple of weeks, certainly things have been very up and down, whether between COVID, social injustice, certainly politics coming out of Washington, and whatever else, right? And, one of the things that I was realizing was that in order for me to be as good as I can be in any of these efforts and so forth, I need to understand that it's always going to be for the long haul. And so, part of that is getting back a little bit to my creativity and so forth. Now, when I was initially starting off, I was like, okay, well, I need X, Y, and Z, and then I'll start working on this. And it's like, and this is something that I've done in the past, right? It doesn't just have to be in this time, but certainly when I was much younger, I was like, okay, well, I just need an entire day of no distraction, and that'll be my ideal day for working. It's like, when is ever that? There's never going to be that reality, whether for you or for me. Certainly, even there's like some writers that I know, they go on like getaways for a weekend and things like that, thinking they're just going to like in one weekend knock out an entire thing. It's like, you can get a lot done, but there really is no ideal day. Once you submit to the idea that there is an ideal day, quote unquote, for creativity, you've lost, because there's never going to be that. And most often, like, okay, once you sit down and it's like the ideal day, the sun is at the right angle, the temperature's correct, and you've got your tea and so forth, you're going to find something wrong, and then you're going to kind of focus on that as opposed to the creative work. Now, I think you can create ideal conditions as much as you can of like, okay, I said like, okay, have your tea, and so forth, and have your place. That's all great, that's creating a routine, right? But it really is about that, creating a routine for writing rather than just like glorifying this ideal day to work, because it's just never going to be. There's going to be always things coming at you left and right, and so forth. And especially as up and coming artists, like, we would like to think that all we want to do is be able to focus solely on our art. We don't want to think about paying the bills. We don't want to think about, getting a job, cooking for ourselves, going shopping. The car needs an oil change and so forth, right? These are all things like, this is life, but we want to just focus on creativity. But it's like, you can't escape life. And so you have to make your creativity part of your everyday life rather than trying to fit your life to your ideal creative scenario. And once you start to do that, like once you really start to, and listen, I'm at a point where I'm putting in like just 30 minutes a day of creativity. It's a very small number, but even just committing to that amount of time really kind of has jump-started me and allows me to think more creatively, and just to see results, right? Certainly me putting in 30 minutes a day for a month will do far more, and other people can corroborate this, than like just putting in one single weekend's worth of effort. Because creative endeavors are marathons, they are not sprints. And when you start to think of them as sprints, that's the domain of the amateur, as Steven Pressfield would argue. The true professional commits to his craft every single day without question. And, listen, I certainly don't want to come off as a hypocrite. There's been days I've taken off and things like that, but admittedly in this time, that's been because there were things that were far more important to me in those moments. And I always knew I could return back to my creativity and a routine if I so chose to. And I am, really kind of think about it in those ways for yourself. Don't just like think of, okay, what's an ideal day for me to work? Instead, create the ideal routine. Okay, I'm gonna wake up in the morning, and 30 minutes before I go to work, I'm gonna do some work. Or when I come home from work, and obviously I don't think a lot of us are, going to work nowadays, but theoretically, right? Even if it's a mental space of like, if you start your work from home job at 9, well, start in the morning, or you shut off at 5, then at 5:30 you work for the next hour and a half, right? Whatever the case may be, create that routine for yourself, and make it a habit. Even and by the way, it doesn't have to be every single day. It could be the weekdays, or even 3 days out of the week. That's certainly better than just like even that is far better than just lumping one weekend out of the month. So really get that idea out of your head that there is an ideal day for creativity, and rather make it as consistent as possible. The more consistent you are with your creativity, the more you will get, and the more your art will blossom. So that's what I have for you today. If you have any questions or thoughts of your own, by all means, please share down in the comment section below, or hit me up on social media at Svitek. I would love to chat with you and discuss things further. If you think this lesson would benefit someone in your life, by all means, share it with them. And to that point, if you enjoyed what I have to say and aren't yet subscribed, I would encourage you to do so. That way, get all the various lessons that I put out right when I put them out. Also, if you're interested in this particular sort of lesson and really deep diving it, as I mentioned, Steven Pressfield is like the master of this kind of ideology and these notions. So The War of Art, Do the Work, those are two fantastic books, very easy reads. Check them out. Anyway, I've yabbered enough. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time.